Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the seasonal artifact, because that's one of the places that you're going to get some of the most useful mods in any given season. They only last as long as the season, so at the end of the season you'll find that mods that you have been using from the last seasonal artifact are gone, can't use them anymore. You'll see your seasonal artifact on the bottom left-hand side of your screen beneath your ghost. You right-click on it to open it up, and as you level through the season, mods will open up, right? Unlocks will become available to you, typically one at a time, unless you forget about it, in which case you can log in and find 7. Or if you've been running your main and you unlock a whole bunch of them, you log in on another character, you'll have all those unlocks available to you, but they won't be unlocked, because each of these unlocks is specific to the character that you're unlocking it on, right? So what your warlock has won't be what your hunter has, won't be what your titan has. As you look through each one of these, you'll see, you're going to have to get a number of unlocks in the first column, and then in the second column, and then you have to have X number of unlocks before you can open up the remaining columns, and so on. The number that you see in the upper right, like this 1 or this 3 or this 2, it's going to be how much energy you need available on that armor piece in order to equip the mod. So the higher the number, the more energy you're going to need to have available on that armor piece. And then as you hover over it, you'll see, like, under the name of it, like overload rounds, you'll see it's an arms armor mod. Or you'll see it's a leg armor mod. One nice thing about the seasonal artifact is that it's not going to have an energy type associated with it. So, a lot of mods, when you go to equip them, like I can only equip solar mods on solar armor, right? Solar mods or mods that don't require a specific energy type. So you're not going to have a specific, energy type of armor that you have to equip it on. It can go on any of your armor that can take a mod. So and it's going to go in these middle 2 slots, right? So on the end, you're going to have things like your elemental well mods or your charge with light mods. On the first one, you're going to have your stat mods. In these middle 2, that's where you're going to have mods like, your bow reloader and so on, as well as these green ones, which are your seasonal artifact mods. And when I say you have to have a certain amount of energy available on your armor in order to equip them, what I mean is, like, I'm using 3 energy right now. I've got 3 energy in my armor. In order for me to equip, say, my unstoppable scout rifle, I have to give myself a little more energy, right? So I apply 1 more energy to this, and I can equip my unstoppable scout rifle mod. I can unequip the mod by hovering over it and then coming down here and clicking on this empty mod slot. You're also not going to find weapon mods on here, right? That is to say, you're not going to find mods that you can apply to your weapons. It's always going to be mods that are applied to your armor. So remember, as you level through the game, come in to your character, right-click on your seasonal artifact, and unlock these mods as you go. Your seasonal artifact is not something that you have to have. It's not something that you equip like a weapon. Sometimes it can be confusing, like there was one season that it was like a hammer. And I was so baffled because I couldn't figure out how to equip and use the hammer. There was nothing to equip and use. It was just there, and it just needed to be there in order to do some things. Typically, it's just going to show up there as after you've done the first couple of missions where you unlock the thing, and then as you level, come in here and select the mods as you go. You can also reset your artifact for a certain amount of glimmer. If I click reset, it's going to empty out every single one of these that I've selected. You can't like unselect one and then reselect something else. You can only reset the whole thing. But if you find that you've kind of erred and you want to go back and redo it, you can do that for a certain amount of glimmer. I think it becomes more expensive each time you do it, so don't make a habit of it. And just remember too, these are going to vary. So what you need for your Titan, you can unlock for your Titan without worrying about what are you going to need for your Hunter. So that's just a super quick and dirty rundown of the seasonal artifact. If you've got questions, leave them in the comments. I will try to either answer them or find someone who can.